Okay, so there was a lot of controversy in the Double Trouble Fling to a Finish Championship, which I want to bring up. Firstly, I just want to mention that as a player two, you never get any mention. Just your team captain gets all of the mention, which was really, not good. And you don't get a login to go and do anything and get any of the respect or anything for your positionings. But yeah, so from 5th to 14th, that's 9 competitors. We were all tied for 5th place and the top 8 go through. And there was a lot of controversy in the Discord, which we will get to. But we did pretty well. Like, we got 4 wins. I was Team Kuki, and the 2 losses that we had were against Argic, who was 4th, and Leader Killer, who got given 6th seeds. And every win after that, 2-0, we won. 2-0, we won. And it seems, because of some weird system that they have, the later matches are harder. Because winning the later matches harder decisively means nothing, when, these are the harder matches, it's kind of stupid. But if we lose, 1-2 was a very, very, very close race in all instances, and the only reason they won is because they got a balloon which teleported them over everything, and Kuki started getting downhearted and gave up, essentially. And then in this one, it was, again, 1-2. Argic beat us 1-2, and they were very good. But again, we were very, very, very close to them, and on Kuki's Canyon, I was having some issues bouncing off invisible things that weren't there, getting bounced around into the lasers, and then the camera that blocked the view with the mountain, and we had some serious issues. We didn't request a reset or anything, that's just the way of the desync of the game. We weren't going to be stupid and horrible and be like, well, we need to reset, especially on the literal decider when we were 1-1 at that point. And the others were close races, they were pretty close races, so it was a good round. And then, we had some early game nerves as well, so when we were literally in there in the early game nerves, again, they got through with a bye. They just got given through Leader Killer, who was also tied with us, but they were good teams. But yeah, early game nerves, we lost a round to late users, but won the other 2. And we were still early game nervous. But it's silly how the bracket works and gives losing early matches means you get less score in the calculations. Because we were close. We were very close to the better competitors, but because we faced them early in the tournament, they're deemed weaker competitors, so it means nothing. So we actually basically got given no score in the tiebreaker, and literally nothing was, literally nothing was said about this. We didn't get any sort of playoff, just some computer system which is clearly very flawed, because we did very well against the better teams, and they are better teams, but still, we could have. We were pretty good. We were close with Leader Killer. Argic, probably would have beaten us every time, but still, we were close. We took a round from them. So, we should have been in the top 8. We should not have been 13th. We should not have been basically the bottom just because we faced Argic early, who was very, very clearly one of the best. Top 4, literally. That shouldn't have counted against us. We should have had a playoff. We should have had the chance. But, there's a lot of people that were having some issues about all of this. And, there was exploits happening on some of the other teams. And, literally controversy over all of that. And then the tiebreakers. Battlefly automatically does the tiebreakers. The tiebreakers should have been paid out. People were getting banned for questioning this. They weren't even saying anything bad. Strength of schedule. Whatever that means. It sounds more like, oh, because me and my teammate were not the biggest streamers. We're not good for the schedule, so we don't go through because of that. You know, it's kind of stupid, and you know, there are teams that lost 0-2, placing higher than the teams that lost 1-2 against very difficult competitors, and you know, should have been higher ranked, but because they lost later, they faced the hard teams later rather than early, because you know, randomness, you can't really decide that. It's not right that they go through because they faced them later. You know, if we got the hard teams later, it would have been fine. FD Squared got banned, Technical got banned for saying how this is unfair. My partner also got banned because you can see they no longer have the role, so they have been banned from the server, and I know because they've said they were banned from the server, and MD seems to have also been banned. You know, it's just not right. Complain about tiebreakers is fine. You know, it's stupid how they were done that, and like I said, you know, someone literally said, "Yep, it's strength of schedule," which again sounds like because we weren't strong for the schedule because we were small streamers, we don't get to go through. There was somewhere in here about that, and then you know, I disrespect equals a ban. They were just saying that the system is wrong. You know, they weren't being disrespectful. They were being like, why don't we get to play? Because we should have got to play. We should have got a playoff. We earned our place. We were getting like record times. We were getting the best times. So, you know, that was not right. The system definitely needs a rethink, because you know, we were literally but the person who's in charge just says they were weaker teams. Okay, the 4th overall and the 6th overall are the weaker teams, sure, because we faced them early, sure, they're weaker teams. No, they're not. They were not. That's bullshit. They were not the weaker teams. So, you know, Rex, later he also questions it. Yeah, B-Rex was good, and we matched with B-Rex, so that's all that I wanted, was like, you know, B-Rex is an amazing speedrunner, and we were literally tied with him in 5th place, and, you know, it would have been great to have a playoff against B-Rex, and, you know, see, I would have loved to have played against B-Rex, but it was ridiculous, and we made sure that we did absolutely nothing cheesy ever. We only ever called for a reset when we literally got stuck inside objects and could not move, and we tried for minutes to break out, so that, you know, even if we broke out and the opponents were still behind us, that's, you know, better game. That's what the game does. But we waited for literal minutes stuck inside an object, and then minutes more when they went to the finishing line, just to get the reset, just because we were stuck permanently inside of an object. And then another one, they got stuck inside an object and then the camera was facing backwards and we couldn't see anything coming through laser traps, which was also completely unfair. But, you know, we didn't raise when we were getting bounced off invisible objects. We didn't raise when I have the hardest time because I have my objects, which I can see, which bounce me off, and Kuki's objects, which I cannot see, which are invisible, but also bounce me off. So I had twice as many objects on many of the things in Pinball Panic, and we just had to deal with it, and we dealt with it. We just went, yep, that's the game, we dealt with it, and got on with it. We didn't raise any controversy. Even when some of them screwed us out of wins, we didn't raise any of this. But, you know, losing, oh no, they were, oh, fuck off Windows Update. Losing means I'll fuck off. What is Ruxium? What? I think something's downloaded a virus. Great. That's good to know. Okay, so I'm gonna have to deal with whatever the fuck that was. A virus pop-up that pretends it's a Windows update or something, unless Windows update is Ruxium.exe. Thanks. But yeah, like, that's not the way to be eliminated. We were in the top 5, 9 of us tied. We should have got playoffs. That was bullshit, and, you know, there's a lot of drama and controversy from many of the streamers that were involved, and it was poorly handled. And you know, myself and my teammate, we're both small streamers, we would have got a huge amount of publicity out of this for coming, you know, in the finals and getting up there with all these big streamers for like very little gameplay. We were getting record times. We could have, once we were in the zone at the end there, we could have we had a real shot at winning that. And that was bullshit to get eliminated just because we faced a strong competitor early when we were nervous and having issues. But once we were in the zone, we were there. We could have won.